feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais.
I'm with him as well, Steve Merchant.
I was thinking of dropping that.
What?
Thinking of dropping that, just going, because it's just too, that's all that. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington too. I mean, get to the music, so it's, hi, I'm Ricky Gervais, this is XFM.
Sure.
Here's Radiohead. They'll come out, that was Radio on XFM, I'm Ricky Gervais. Tony Blair, what's he all about?
Yeah.
That sort of...
Snappier.
Fast, because I quite, on a serious note, and you've always been saying it, I listened to an old show, because when Karl was compiling those things, I listened to an old show, and I listened to me, and... I'm really concentrating now, because I sounded like the most inarticulate, brain-damaged older drunk I have ever heard given a show.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked. Not finishing sentences, leaving out words, slurring, just doing noises that you understand because you know me.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to make an effort for the listener.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? You're going to give up after about 3 records.
But I thought you were joking. And I thought it was like, oh, he's taking it there. Did it then, you see?
Again, I don't quite know what that sentence meant.
No, but...
Well, of course, I've got also your body language and your facial gestures, but obviously the listeners have got nothing else. They've just got the voice. They've just got the voice for it. That's all they've got. That's all they can rely on.
Yeah.
And when Karl Pilkington is the man holding the show together...
When he's the
that's
most
quite damning.
articulate.
Exactly. Exactly.
How did I come across?
You came across as lovely. I mean, I did an interview yesterday, right? And I was trying to describe you to this journalist, and I was going, it's like a cat can talk. Because the things you say, I just want to know what your world is. You know when a cat comes in, you go, where have you been? And it looks as you're like, you know, it can nearly understand you. And you want, oh, I wonder, I'd love to know what that cat thinks. And with you, it's almost like we've got one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like that?
You can also lick your own testicles, I think, can you? So, yeah.
Should we play the Doves? Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais. Welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday.
Were you asked to appear on Celebrity Fat Club?
No, no.
Was there? Seriously, did an invite come
No,
in?
I don't think they did. I knew about it, and I was waiting for the call, and I was going to be insulted, but it didn't come.
Didn't come.
It didn't
How
come.
much are you looking forward to it? I'm quite excited about it.
I
really
am
am
excited to it, yeah.
I don't know if people know... Are you aware of this, Karl? This is this Celebrity Fat Club. It's a new, one of those reality shows. It's 10 celebrities, I think. They're all overweight, and they've got to lose weight over the course of the series.
And they're celebrities.
And they're celebrities.
That's why I've called it that.
Celebrity Fat Club.
So who've they got?
Well, I'm very excited because one of them is, you know, that guy who was in Pop Idol but didn't win in the end, that really big fat guy, Rick Waller, Fats Waller, as I call him. And I was reading about him on the web earlier. It says he's been told to lose 17 stone because they reckon he might be dead by the age of 40 if he doesn't lose weight. Seriously.
How old is he now?
I don't know how old he is. He's only in his 20s, isn't he?
Well, that's still a good
But
20 years of cake eating.
it says he was shocked to find he weighed 31 stone when he stepped on the scales at the start of the show.
31 stone?
31 stone. But I love the fact...
That's really big.
I like the fact it says he was shocked to find he weighed it.
Yeah.
I had no inclination.
I kept my eye off the ball there, didn't I?
Exactly.
That must be all those breakfasts.
I haven't stood on the scales for years and I didn't know how much I weighed, Rick told The Sun.
31 stone, right? That is having a man on your back and carrying a man in your arm. Just basically two men going everywhere.
It is obscene, because he looks... Have you seen him? He looks like one of those people who's wearing one of those inflatable sumo outfits.
Yeah.
He's just a little head and like a sort of... Oh,
we're not having a go at, fat people.
I'm having a go at him, Rick.
No, because it might be glandular. It's not, it's greed.
Exactly.
Do you know what? This is true. When I did that Room 101, and I did one they cut out completely. I don't think I'd cut it out on taste. I think it was just too long. And one of the ones I put in was fat people who say it's glandular, right? And they'd done the research, and 2% of obese people can claim it's glandular. The rest, they just eat too much.
But the thing about Waller is he was going on the telly going, it's good, what a wonderful role model I am for people who don't conform to the usual pop star sort of stereotype. No, you're not a role model for anyone. You are a fat pig of a man. I'm sorry, but you are... No, Rick,
but
be honest with me, it is obscene.
It's not his weight that disturbs me more, it's his gums.
Well...
They've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Haven't they? They have been through a lot.
The weight does concern me slightly. Do you remember when he did his version of I Will Always Love You?
Yeah, but
I thought he was just singing about like a buffet or something.
yeah, outside the chip shop.
Yeah.
Go away, Mr. Waller.
Yeah. Just let me watch the kebab rotate once more.
No. Can I lick the fat off the floor? No, you can't. I just imagine those people who run all-you-can-eat buffets, when they hear him coming, they shut the door.
It's like it's one of those 1920s speakeasy. The front changes into like a laundrette. Just move on, fats. It's not... I can smell chip fat. No. Move on you go.
But, I mean, we're not Olympic fat. Brits. They are also fat. 31 stone is sort of, quite big. But the American, that one, did you see that one? Seriously, we talked about it before. That one on Jerry Springer. And he was 75 stone. Did you see
75
He
stone?
was in his bed. Honestly, it looked like a, I don't know, sort of molten lava
Yeah.
in his bed. And it was actually sad, and I was really sad, because he was, he was in tears, and he was going, this is it, I'm gonna do it. And Jerry Springer took the wall down, and they had to get him in a special ambulance and everything. But my point is this, right? When he got to say 50 stones, didn't he go, that's a lot, innit?
I gotta be careful.
For a human.
Exactly.
For someone that lives on land.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is,
exactly.
that is, I'll tell you, the fact is they have to have special weighing equipment, so wasn't that a clue?
That must have been.
The fact they had to get in someone from next door to lift up a bit to tell him
Yeah.
how much he weighed.
Yeah, the fact that he featured on the Ordnance Survey map should have been a clue that
We've given
it's
you
time-
your own man.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
Stop
eating.
Oh,
Always amazing to hear that, isn't it? Rich?
it's
Sugar.
fantastic. It's
I
such
can't
a
change your mind.
great tune.
I was listening to Copper Blue, the album from which I was
Yeah.
taken again. It's just fantastic.
Old
it really
Mouldy.
was. Old Mouldy.
Mouldy old dough, as I call
oh,
him.
Exactly, Bob.
You've got a real problem with Rick Waller, haven't you?
I just,
And he's
he
probably
turns my stomach.
I know, but don't...
'Cause he's
don't say
arrogant
that.
as well, though.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Don't explain to people that...
No,
you
he
know,
is a bit
it's
arrogant.
It's his whole thing that it's the whole package, so to speak, that you don't
Well, there's
like.
another thing in this quote, because
It's
he's
not just the fact that he eats too much.
he tried apparently to lose some weight, and he said the first month I lost 11 pounds, the next I lost a stone, but in the third my body did somersaults and I put on 9 pounds. I had a slip up. I can't say when, why, or how, but it just sneaked up on me.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't believe it just sneaked up on
That
him.
body's never done a somersault
No.
in its life.
No, it just sneaked up on him.
me, yeah.
It was the cakes again.
Yeah.
It was the same old cakes as before. It was exactly the same problem.
Sleep eating.
Yeah.
It's called.
It was the KFC bucket again. It was the
Oh,
family-sized
dear.
KFC bucket
Oh,
for breakfast.
dear. Poor man. The other thing is that I don't think that's a very good shock tactic for a doctor to tell a 20-something, well, to be honest, you've got 20 years to live.
Yeah.
That's not...
Doesn't mean anything
and
when
when I
you're
was 20, the thought of dying at 40 was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live to 40. I
Yeah.
just thought, oh, what can you do when you're 40?
Yeah.
Just laying around doing nothing.
Eating cheese. And then you got there, and you discovered...
No, but someone sent
dream
me...
came true.
Sophie here sent me something, and she said, I realise you're not Graham Norton, but I had to send you this. And she sent me the top of a little cream cheesy thing, and it's the brand name is Gervais.
Oh, God, that
From-
is... Have you
from-
been... They've named a cheese after you.
I think it's a big French company, and this is from the Czech Republic. It's all over Europe, and so it
That would
shows-
be a dream come true, wouldn't it, if they named a cheese after
No,
you?
I think it's probably ancestors, and so I've cheeses in my blood.
Sure.
Quite
It
literally.
literally is, yeah. Another heavy Friday night, was it?
It comes out of pores like those Play-Doh things. I can squeeze out different shapes.
Jane,
by-
bring the Stilton in. It's Friday night. Oh,
This
man
isn't
alive.
fried.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we can't really have a go at Rick Waller. I eat too much, but
But
I
you're not
exercise.
big. I mean, one of the other contestants on the Fat Club, Celebrity
is,
Fat Club,
isn't
is another one is Jono Coleman.
Oh, we love John.
Now, Jono, I don't know, you know Jono, he's that guy who does, he used to be on TV, and I think he does a breakfast show on a rival station, doesn't he?
He's happy, isn't he?
He's so trivia, and he's a really nice bloke, Jono,
It's
but...
funny because he does a breakfast show on Heart, which is wrecking his own. There's a bit of irony.
I love Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love you.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's good.
But we've met Jono a couple of times. We saw him at a couple of, not wishing to say not to show off, but a couple of awards dues.
Yeah,
And-
that's showing off.
But
Like
there-
people would have seen dead there.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
we went to one where everyone was in like tuxedos or suits
yeah.
and ties. Not Jono. Jono was wearing a pair of Bermuda shorts,
Big Bermuda
and a
shorts,
Hawaiian
knee-length Bermuda
shirt.
shorts with just these little...
But I saw him again another time,
feet.
and he had shorts on at
Yeah.
a similar event, and I've seen him since in the street, and he's all. I'm wondering if he can wear trousers. I don't think he can actually wear trousers. I don't know if there's a medical reason for that, whether he's just his
No,
legs are too fat.
I think the material is a waste of money. I think it's just
Yeah.
that you can get shorts that big and they're comfortable, and I mean, to be quite honest, I don't want to squeeze into a tuxedo anyway. So if you can go, I'd love to turn up to those things in Bermuda shorts.
Well, of course.
Flip flops.
But do you think he started off by wearing, maybe he just had the upper half was a tuxedo with the tie
And then the
everything,
shorts for
and the shorts
comfort.
underneath, and he would just have to come in, kind of sneak behind, a sideboard.
Potted plants.
Or a potted plant, or bring his kids ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know,
And they
you are
just
wearing
go,
trousers, aren't you?
You're
Yeah,
wearing
yeah.
trousers. Of course I am. Yeah.
In you go, in you go.
Kids move a bit. Well, no, just leave the,
Exactly.
of course I'm wearing trousers. Why
Of
would
course
I?
I'm wearing
And they
trousers.
just thought, oh, this isn't fooling
Yeah.
anyone.
So now I'm going to make a wacky effort to sort of, you know,
The next
excuse
zone
it.
is, I've heard he's going in a grass skirt and a garland around his, and he's
Yeah.
gonna come in limboing.
But you did ask if you could go to the BAFTAs in a dressing gown, didn't you?
Just for ease.
Yeah.
But I'm in agony now, and
Are you in agony right now as we speak?
yeah, certain. But it does make you think now. Do you know what I mean? Like life and everything. I mean, it's weird how it's all happened in the last month. From seeing that bee sort of die.
No.
Well, not really.
No. This is not a near-death experience.
It is
You
a
had a
little bit.
routine operation to remove kidney stones because you don't drink enough water.
No, I know, but
This is not a shark attack.
yeah, but it's all life-threatening. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to fill out forms, would you? Saying if everything goes wrong, Suzanne can have the house or whatever. They keep checking your heartbeats and stuff, and your blood pressure. I don't like knowing about that. I just like leave it. It's happening. Don't be messing with it. Stop measuring it.
Stop measuring it.
No, do you know what I
Is
mean?
that the same
though?
with a knob?
It's that thing of like they put that thing
That's what
on.
the anaesthetist was doing when you were under, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was comparing the diagram to the actual thing.
Oh God.
What is the closest thing sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something, hasn't it?
No, I don't know. I don't understand what you mean.
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
He's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
Right.
you go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a
There
huge
isn't.
difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub.
What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like they sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, they're insects that have evolved to look like a leaf.
At some point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No,
What?
at no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a
No.
leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it. That's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it
what-
looks like a leaf.
But then how does it meet? How does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. It's not like they, a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead. Rude.
I was chatting to her. She was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But, Dave, that's not a stick insect, that's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night. I thought,
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great, slim figure.
no, it's actually a real stick.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh,
In
okay,
the
you've
last,
moved on from
in the
insects.
last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems to, he's done ants and he's done bees, he's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything, some of them are lazy. We are granting him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Karl Pilkington.
Carl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.
Well, I heard, and you told me this, so I know it's true. Do you know when I talked about replacing blood with coconut, what was it?
Well, one, it said coconut milk can be used as plasma, but I haven't had that verified because it's off one of those websites where there are spurious facts.
But what do you think of that, Steve? I mean, I've sort of touched on it.
But I've just got to echo what Ricky said. I can't have an opinion unless it's been verified.
But why aren't you just being open-minded enough to go, well...
Well, no.
But
That's
that's
not
not
being
question of being
open-minded.
open-minded.
Open-minded isn't believing everything you hear. You don't believe everything you read, do you?
A lot of stuff you kind of go, well, that's interesting.
But we talked about this. What about Noah's Ark?
What about it?
Well, you know, you said you believed it because it's in book form, but according to that, didn't he get 2 of every species on a big boat? But we know that's impossible, don't we?
Depends where he was. If he was above a zoo, there would have been a lot of different stuff knocking about. That's my only problem. What I'm saying is, where was he floating where he could get an elephant, a giraffe, a cat, a dog, a gerbil? Where were all these things floating about?
Well, exactly.
Right,
That's
these
my
Old
only
Testament
downfall.
zoos, they were quite
Yeah,
quite
but
big,
exactly.
were they?
But you're right. You're questioning it. How is it possible?
But I've just said, a zoo.
There's no zoo that has got 1% of all animal species.
Well, I don't know where he got them from then.
There's a couple of million species of animal. And how did he round these animals up?
Because they were drowning, so they were looking for any boat.
So they were actively seeking out an ark.
Well, they would have just been looking for anything to get hold of.
Yeah, and where did he keep them all? How did he keep them all separate? How did he...
At that point...
Oh no, the lions ate the otter.
No, because at that point, it's that thing, innit, of how you all pull together in a
Don't
bad situation.
Talk shit.
You all chip in, they're all like, oh, God, you know, let's be nice to our neighbours.
Right. So there's spiders talking to flies and...
Well, they would have just gone elsewhere, wouldn't they? They
What
would
do you
have been
mean?
on another bit of the boat. The spiders don't have to knock about the lions just because they're all in it together. They get their own little area, don't they?
Well, I don't know. How big is this boat? How
It's big, it's a big boat. How long, what was the warning he got from God to make it?
I don't know.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 2 of every species, Carl. How big would this boat have to be?
Yeah, it's big.
You can't just keep saying it's big, because I know in your mind, you're imagining this ark, there's a boat with Noah up the front with his wife, 2 giraffes behind him, then next there, 2 elephants, and it just, and it's just like elephant, giraffe, hippo, dog, cat, weasel, couple of frogs, and a spider talking to a fly going,
Yeah.
let's get on, but when we're off here, you're dead.
But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a
It's
question of
not,
what
it
they've
didn't
done.
happen. It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered. And they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
I was swimming recently. I do a lot of swimming, and I've never quite mastered my front crawl. Just never quite nailed the breathing because it's quite tricky, isn't it? You know, you've got to breathe at the right moment. And so I'm in the swimming pool in the local gym, and there's a guy bombing up and down, really doing a great forward stroke. So I waited till he came up and sort of went, "Excuse me, mate. I was just watching you when you were doing your front crawl. I was really impressed. Could you just watch me when I do mine and tell me if I'm going
Why
wrong?"
would you go to a man?
I know, and that was what that was the problem. Is only as I was saying it did I realise what it sounded like. I've just been watching you swimming up and down. I was really impressed.
And you're both in Speedos.
Both in speedos. You know, I'm got the goggles on, prescription goggles, so that I can see when I'm swimming.
But why do you need them? There's nothing in a pool to look at. It's not like you're scuba diving. There's
Well,
nothing. It's
hold
just
on. Clearly there is something to look at in a pool.
Well, no, I wasn't checking. Well, I was checking him out, but I was checking him out for swimming tips. And he just looked at me when I asked him, "Can you just watch me and offer me any tips?" And he just
Steve,
looked at me like I was just mental.
That is such a strange thing to say. Can you just watch? I don't know how you had the nerve to do that.
Well, it was innocently motivated.
Well, I know it's innocent, but what a strange thing to go up to someone and...
But what civilization are we living in where we can't just ask our fellow man to help us out with our forward crawl?
But we're in a society where we can't. But you know that. It's a strange thing to say.
But sometimes it's nice to just think, no, do you know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap of thinking
agree.
he's immediately going to think I'm gay or that I'm chatting him up. I'm just going to ask him to do me a favour. There's nothing wrong with that.
What if he said, yeah, it's just good, yeah. Do you mind coming and help me with my plastering?
But it's not the same. He's in the swimming pool. He's there in the pool. He's swimming up and down. He's, it's not no skin off his nose to just offer a bit of kindly advice. If your car's broken down in the middle of nowhere and someone drives by, it's a generous thing to do. Just stop and maybe look under the bonnet and help them out.
I agree.
But I don't see how it's any different. And in the end, he did, and all he asked was that I wake him off. Carl, as you're aware, you've obviously got many celebrity fans, and you've also got a new fan, Warwick Davis, who is the short actor that many people will see in films like Return of the Jedi. He also is in Harry Potter. He's 3'6", and Ricky and I worked with him recently. And far from asking us about the many celebrity names that we've worked with, the only person he was interested in talking about, of course, Mr. K. Pilkington.
He wanted to meet you, Carl.
Yeah. Well, is he all right to get on with?
Why wouldn't he be?
Just because sometimes when people aren't normal, it's just...
Sorry?
No, I just mean when someone... Like, I've met a few little people in my time. The one that I met a little fella once, and he was all right. He got drunk really quick. But he was all right, but it took me by surprise. Only because, like I've said about when I met Steve for the first time, it's only that same thing. And then if I lived with the little fella, I'm sure we'd get on a storm.
What do you mean when you met
There's
Steve?
a TV show waiting to happen.
Things wear off. That's like the world, isn't it? And it's the same with the little fella you're talking about. First time I see him, I'd be a little bit like, oh, what do you say? Whereas once you get to know him, I'm sure he'd be a lovely little fella.
I don't know where to start, Steve. Gorillas rock the house on XFM 104.9, 2 o'clock, halfway through already. Ricky Gervais show.
With Steve Merchant.
Yeah, telling really quite embarrassing things that I wish I
Yes.
hadn't now. It makes me look like some sort of mad old urinator.
No, you just can't handle your drink. You can't handle your drink.
No, I can. I just get rid of it in the usual way of excretion via the kidneys, down the urethra, out the end, down the sink. Sometimes a sink, sometimes a toilet, Carl.
Sometimes a bed.
Yes.
Or your girlfriend.
You know, it just... Oh, embarrassing things. I remember once, right, I used to love nature when I was about like 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And I remember going out with my sister and my brother and their girlfriend and boyfriend, like to become their husband and wife. And
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you know, just keeping continuity there.
Yeah.
And I used to get shells and things on the beach, and I used to get anything. I love nature. And once I found I love reptiles as well, and I found this perfect snake skin, a grass snake or an adder, and it was I absolutely I couldn't believe my luck. And I was going look, and they were going okay, put it down, because I realised they were a little bit scared of it. They were going put it down, it's dirty, and of course I'd torture them a little bit, and then I thought it was hilarious, and they made me leave it there, and I told mum and everything, and then. Much later, when I had some friends when I was about 14 or 15, I was telling this story to embarrass my sister, and I was going, yeah, and she was scared of it. And she went, well, it was a used Johnny. She'd waited that long to embarrass me in front of my friends.
God.
I'd been running round with a used Durex, thinking that this was great because they were scared of snakes, and they were going, put it down, it's dirty. No, be careful of the poison.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It is horrible, isn't it? Have I gone too far again?
How could you not realise it was made of rubber, for goodness sake? Well, you obviously didn't know anything about nature.
Well,
I used to love nature, me.
Yeah,
The difference between some skin and then
this
rubber
is
Johnny.
Now be careful of the Johnny snake.
Yeah.
Their little poppy head and their poison that... Oh, dear.
I always remember there's this kid who lived near me once, and this bird got run over, and he rushed it, he said, I can save it, and he kissed it. Because he thought he could give it the kiss. He thought he could give it the kiss of life.
I thought you meant it was a girl.
No.
It got run over.
And he kissed it. No, he thought he could give it the kiss of life, but he didn't know what the kiss of life was. He just thought you could kiss something and that would bring it back to life.
I think it was an excuse. I think
To
he was
kiss a
thinking, I
dead
can't
bird.
wait for a bird to get run over, then I can pretend to be giving it a kiss of life, but really I'm giving it a nice little snog on the
I remember he
beak.
kissed it like that and threw it up like it would fly away, and it just went vroom onto the floor.
Oh, was it dead or?
Yeah, it was blood everywhere. It was horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And what's he doing now?
He presents Animal Hospital. No, I don't know what he's doing. But,
He's the worst vet in the world. Got
Yeah.
struck off for sleeping with one of his patients. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, bless him. Oh no, I killed a fish once.
Go on.
Well, I made a little bow and arrow. I was about 8 or 9, and I made a bow and arrow. And you know, you never think. We had a pond, and there was a huge fish in it, about 8 inches long, a huge big sort of like golden orph or something, or a carp or something. And I was sort of playing, and I aimed, and I shot it, and it went straight through it and floated to the top. And I thought, oh my god!
You pierced a fish with an arrow. That's an amazing shot.
Well, it was luck. It was pure luck. I
You were
never thought I'd
Native
do it.
American.
Yeah. And you know those little things outside in the front garden by the front gate, a little sort of 4 inches by 4 inches bit of metal. You lift it up, and it's sort of like where the drains are if the the plumbers need to get there or the council or anything like that.
Right.
I dropped it down there and I thought, oh my God, what if that's discovered? What if I have to drive? So I ran loads and loads of journeys in and out of my house, right, to the toilet and back, just taking out handfuls of Vim and pouring bleach down, thinking that I can get rid of this fish before the council dig it up in 10 years' time and go, send him to jail.
Yes.
Fish aside.
But what do you think they would have done? They'd have taken the dead fish, they'd have gone to each of the doors going, is this your fish?
Yeah,
you
but
recognise this fish?
you don't think...
Do you recognise either the arrow or the fish?
Yes, it's arrow straight through it. But, you know, you don't think when you're 8 that it'd be okay. If I can ride this out till I'm 20,
Yeah.
the statute of limitations on goldfish murder, you know, it is about, I can't work it out, 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so that
You're
was...
a killer.
Yeah.
Carl, anything embarrassing ever happened to you ever?
With what? With animals and
Could
stuff?
be animals.
I like animals, to be honest.
So do I, it was a mistake.
No, you don't. I thought you were feeling bad about the fish.
Yeah.
But really, you were more worried about you being locked up.
Well, I felt bad. There was both the law and the moral side of fish death. I mean, we kill fish all the time, just not usually with a bow and arrow in a back garden in Whitley. You know, often the supermarket can lend a hand with that.
I used to sell mackerel.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a pet magpie
Did you?
called Maggie.
Oh, pet
Inventive.
magpie. You mean you captured it and didn't let it go away?
Yeah.
Can't have a pet magpie.
But then it got really vicious. I mean...
Well, it was
quite
trying
nasty.
to let me go. What do you keep it in, a rabbit hutch?
No, it flew around, but it used to just, like, come to me all the time, but then it started pecking my head and stuff.
That's not a pet magpie. That's a bird in the garden.
No, but I could actually... I could hold it and stuff. It wasn't scared of me, and it knew it was me. It used to come down from, like, the top
It
of the...
hated you. That's why it wanted to peck you. Is that...
And the other thing, I always remember being younger and, like, walking through the woods to school with my mum. And like, I was chasing a butterfly, and she said, "Oh, don't do that, Carl." And I said, "Why?" She said, "'Cause they only live a day." I said, "Oh, all right, I'll get a dead one in the morning."
That's genius.
That's great. That's quick thinking, isn't it? Oh.
No, that's sweet. Let's play a song.
Oh. Wu-Tang Clan and Gravel Pit. We love that, don't we?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Track. We're talking about embarrassing stories and stuff, and I don't know if I've told this on this radio before. Have I told you, Carl? I'm not sure. But this was when I was working at the BBC. This is not even long ago, and I'd moved to London, and I was fairly new in London. And I was working at the BBC, and I had this BBC hire car, and I've never told it. If there's anyone listening who works for the BBC, I don't know if I can still get in trouble for it. But this BBC hire car, and it was like I'd been ferrying kind of actors and people and production people around all day in this car. And I was driving back, it was quite late, it was about sort of 7 or 8, and I was driving back, and I pulled in to get some petrol to fill up the car every day. And I went into this garage to fill up some petrol, and I was there, and two blokes came in a white van, right? They sort of pulled into the forecourt, and I was filling up the car, and they went, "Hey, do you want to buy a couple of speakers?" And I said, "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
Because, tell you the reason, it was like I was so flattered that they thought I'd be the kind of bloke who would, A, need some kind of classy speakers, and B, would like to buy them on the sly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, they like the
They've
fact
seen me. They've seen I look a bit of a hustler.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a street sort of guy. You can see by the way I use my walk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe my luck. So they drove behind the garage, the little sort of garage bit at the back, and I went round there, sort of casually went round there, sort of locked the car, went round there. He went, yeah, open the back, he had these speakers in there. I said, "Are you sure these aren't knocked off, mate?" He went, no. We work for Dixon's. This is the story he spun me. We work for Dixon's, right? And we're delivery men, and if we make a delivery and the person's not there to sign for the goods, then we have to bring them back to the warehouse. But if we can sell them on the way back, then that's really good for Dixon's.
Dixon's must love that.
And instead of thinking, are you sure some kind of troubleshooter didn't... I mean, did someone go into Dixon's and go, yeah, you're not getting in the garage forecourt market?
Jones.
Exactly.
Get a couple of lads in a white van.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I sort of bought this story, and I was a little bit dubious, and I went, right, let me hear them then. And he wired them up to the car stereo, and boom, 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 they're playing. So it was some groovy hip-hop. I was thinking, great, these guys know what I'm into. Yeah. And he's giving me the talk and stuff. And, I said, I'm a bit worried these are knocked off. He went, no, listen, we got a bloke at Dixon's who can confirm this is fine, right? Phone him up, use my mobile, right? And quote this reference number, right? So I phone out, they go, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, and it goes, yeah, I go, hi, some guys here in the garage forecourt trying to sell me some speakers. Just wanted to check. He went, it's fine. I went, should I just read the reference number or whatever? He went, if you want. And X14, and I went, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that was, don't you? That was actually Mr. Dixon himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, well, you know, they sound great. They're giving me for a knockdown price. I'd say they were like 400 quid, they were like 200 quid or something. It was a good bargain. I was in the market for some speakers as well.
Yeah.
So, while they were loading
it's
them
all
in...
kosher. I phoned Dixon.
Exactly. I phoned Dixon's. That's fine.
Yeah.
So while they're loading them in the back of the BBC hire car, right, I'm in there paying for the petrol, right? And the guy who's serving goes, "Oh, all right." He goes, "What were you doing round the back with those blokes?" Right? Because obviously there's security cameras filming this whole transaction, right? And he goes, "What are you doing round the back?" And I went, brilliantly, "There's some old mates. Some of my mates were just having a chat and that." He went, "Oh, right, okay," like giving me obviously the evil eye. So I went back to the van. So I'm in the car now and I'm driving with one of the blokes who's in the van with me because I didn't have the money on me. So I had to go to the cash point to get the cash, right? So I'm driving with him and the other guy's like following me in the van and he was like a northerner like you and he was giving it all the, "All right, yeah, you know." I tell him, "My girlfriend's a DJ, she's got some of these speakers, they're fantastic, da-da-da," and he's giving me this. And then my mind starts working. Now that I've got a bit of time to think, I'm thinking, wait a minute, this all sounds a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
It dawned on me, Rick.
You know, fool, are you? You're streetwise.
Exactly.
You're streetwise, Steve.
Not only that, I was thinking, how am I going to get them home? I've got to drop the car off at the BBC. How am I going to get these huge speakers back to where I live?
And how can I pay for them? Because I've just spent £100 on Find the Lady with a couple of blokes in the square. It seemed like a fair game. Some of his friends were winning.
But so I explained to him, I said, I can't get them back to like Brixton where I was living at the time. He went, "Don't worry, give us an extra 20 quid, we'll take them home for you."
Oh, that's good. Deliberate. They do a whole service, you see. And there's also a backup guarantee. Did they have the guarantee? The 3-month guarantee?
They didn't.
No.
But so I said, "I'm not sure about that." He went, "Well, why don't you put them in a cab, send them back, and your housemates can collect it?" I was like, "Oh, no, there'd be no one in." And I was beginning to sort of get a bit conscious of, like, maybe this was a bit of a scam, after all. So I pulled into, like, a little side road, and I said, "I'm not sure I'm into this now," actually. He went, "What are you talking about? It's 200 quid for a pair of speakers. It's a bargain. You never get a bargain like this, mate." I'm going, "Not too sure, actually. I don't think I want them." He went, 150 quid, 150 quid, mate, 150 quid. I went, "No." He's 100 quid now to you. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like the kind of work that Dixons would be doing.
Dixons don't do that when I go in.
This is it.
Dixons never negotiate in that way.
When I go there, look around and I leave, they go, "Where are you going?"
Exactly.
I go, "We'll have anything then. Have anything for a
So
quid."
I stopped the car and the white van pulled up behind me with his mates in.
Sure.
And I said, "Can you get them out? I'm not interested." And he went, "Oh, 100 quid, mate." "Oh, you," and he was just going, "You tosser, you obviously want some speakers," and he was having a go at me. So I was carrying the speakers out and putting them back in the white van, and he was just shouting at me, he was going, 70 quid, 70 quid. I was like, 70 quid from 200? This is ludicrous.
You realise that wasn't Dixon's policy then.
Exactly.
They don't usually shout,
moment.
"You tosser," as you leave the leave the shop and walk down Camden High Street. They're not usually shouting, "You tosser."
You should have took the offer of, like, the monthly payments they've got on at the moment.
So eventually I put them in there and I sort of knocked the deal on the head and I got back in my car and they were in theirs and I just looked in the rearview mirror and they were punching the dashboard like with aggression and venom, like we let that deal slip through our fingers. And I've never been so terrified in my life. I just sat there and I was just thinking, oh my god, all I was thinking now is what if I go back to the BBC and they go, "We've had a call from the police, the man at the garage, he saw you doing a dodgy deal."
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, what you do is you put the hire car in a drain in your front garden and then go in and out of the toilet just pouring bleach down or Ajax and they'll never know.